It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Let's go with Don and then Dustin and then this gentleman. Go ahead.
It's two questions actually. Number one, the number one seed has only won the championship once. Does that kind of give 2 through 11 a lot more hope?
Yeah, it does. I think so. And you know, he's had a tremendous amount of success. Kyle has. So a lot of times we see that momentum typically, you know, shift throughout the season. He has not had that yet, obviously. So maybe in these last 10 we see it shift a little bit, but we'll just have to wait and see.
And the second question, can you think of a race or a time that a win got away from you? I'm thinking maybe Darlington this year, but something that just kind of eats at you. You probably remember it more than you remember a win. Yeah,
there's a bunch of those. You know, mistakes that you've made behind the wheel and in mechanical issues you've had, and probably this season the most recent, you know, would be Darlington. You know, we had a fantastic car, and you know, Carl Edwards had a good statement earlier. You know, it's Kyle does have a number of wins, but you know, Darlington, we went out of the race probably, you know, looked like we had him beat fairly decently, and then Atlanta, Carl had that race won, and went out of that race, and Kyle won that race. So there's been a few races on the other foot that, on the other hand, that Kyle's picked up, you know, that somebody else has, you know, gone out of. So not taking anything away from him, but certainly it can go both ways. I've been on both sides of that thing. Yeah, oh yeah, the losses eat at you, you know, more than the one that you just happen to get by chance.
Go to Doug, then we'll go to this gentleman, and then Dustin. I'm sorry, Dustin, this gentleman, and then Doug. Okay.
Yes, this is Dustin Long.
Sorry.
Landmark Newspapers. Do you like my name tag? Greg, this is 5th year of the Chase. How has the Chase changed things as you approach the season? Obviously, I know everybody wants to win every race. What are the things that have changed because of the advent of the Chase?
Well, I mean, some things have, a lot's changed getting to the Chase. You know, people, you know, it's just, I think the sport's just become more competitive altogether. It seems like it's harder to get in the Chase. And, you know, as you can tell, it's hard when you get in the Chase. You know, it's become, like last year, 5th place, you know, average finish, didn't win it. So people are just getting, you know, and teams are getting better and better and better. You know, we just don't see any mechanical failures. We just don't see people making mistakes or accidents happening. And all you can do is just be, what it does is it forces everybody to be better. Forces me to be better behind the wheel. You know, on Sunday, to not ever make a mistake. You know, to run as hard as I can. And just, you got to, everybody keeps upping their game and upping their game, you know. And the tighter and tighter it gets, the, you know, more competitive it becomes. I think we've gotten better as a team on pit road. Greg and I communicating. I've been really, really smart on the racetrack. I've really tried to analyze pit road and predict and execute the best I can. You know, what angle getting into the pit box, how much brake to use, just every last, just you got to polish every last opportunity that there is.
Okay, we'll go to this gentleman, then Doug. Go ahead.
Paul Sherrington, Adnock Radio Group. Greg, new car versus old car. This is the fourth race on this track for. How does it compare on this track? How do they compare on this track?
Well, it seems like this track I see a little bit of difference because the old car here, we were a threat for the win all the time. You know, we had a couple seconds and thirds and fourths and top fives anyway. I remember racing Matt for the third at the end of the race, first Chase race in 05, but we haven't been as good in the new car here. And I think it's just us or me or us as a team haven't been as good, but they do drive different, certainly do. There's not much to compare the two together, but they do act different on this racetrack. But we just got to keep working on this new car and get it to go as good as we can.
We'll go to Doug and then Jim. Go ahead.
Doug Rice, PRN. Greg, we've got 12 drivers in the chase, but they represent 4 teams. So what does that say about the level of competition right now, that it's top-heavy with those 4 different teams?
I think it's just a fact of the numbers. I mean, you got more technology, more testing, that gets spread across the group. Just your average is better. If you do the math, the guys that have more cars have a better average. Not necessarily a better average of getting in, but they have a better average of getting it right. And if me and Carl go to Milwaukee and test for 2 days, the other 3 teams benefit from that. And then when they go test somewhere at Nashville, we get the benefit of that. And I think that's what makes the multi-car teams better than the single-car teams, and that's never going to change. No matter how the testing policy is, you're always going to be able to exchange information across, whether you have 3 cars or 4 cars or whatever. And these organizations have been building and building and building over years at a time. Gibbs only has 3 cars, but they're very good about execution and learning, and they got 3 good drivers, and I mean, they're able to dial that in, polish that.
2 more questions. Jim and then this gentleman here. Go.
Yeah, Jim Pedley with the Kansas City Star. Greg, nobody's been able to test Kansas this year. Because it's a 1.5 and there's a lot of 1.5s in the chase schedule, will that kind of be an X-factor race for you guys, do you think?
A little bit, but not as much as you think. This new car, I keep going back to that. The thing is, acts so similar to about everywhere we go. We'll be able to take something we used at some other racetrack, Chicago or wherever, and really be real close to it, and it probably won't take us long to get up to speed. These cars, there's so little adjustability. The thing is get the splitter down on the track so it doesn't hit, stays as low as it can, and get the balance front to back. I mean, we can't move fenders, we can't. There's not a lot we can do. So, we pretty much already know, rolling it off the truck, exactly what we're going to need there. We got a dang good idea.
Final question.
Jerry Major, Gleason Radio Group. I'm just curious what your rigorous testing schedule is for the rest of the chase.
I think we have 2 or 3 tests planned. One is a open test, obviously at Charlotte, but then I think we're talking about going maybe to one more track and test another than that, or possibly 2. So that's kind of what we're planning on for the rest of the season.
Greg, thanks a lot. We
Thank
wish
you.
you a lot of luck in the chase.